Alright, let's be honest. Rap beefs have always been part of the game. Artists throw shade, drop diss tracks, and fans pick sides. But lately, it feels like things have crossed a serious line. When did it become normal to drag people's children into the fight? Since when is it okay to insult someone's kid or make fun of something as sensitive as fertility? What started as a rivalry between two of the biggest female rappers, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, has turned into one of the messiest and most personal online battles we've ever seen. It all began after Cardi B released her new album. Not long after, Nicki reportedly took shots at her on social media, mocking her album sales. Though the posts were later deleted, fans had already taken screenshots. According to the rumors, Nicki suggested that Cardi had inflated her numbers to make her album look more successful. Cardi didn't stay quiet. She clapped back, questioning why Nicki was still so focused on her, and reminding her that when Nicki first entered the music scene, Cardi was still in high school. Cardi also mentioned that she was just at home cooking, minding her own business, when Nicki's posts ruined her day. Whether Nicki's comments came out of nowhere or were sparked by something behind the scenes, no one really knows. But what we do know is that things escalated fast, and once they started talking about each other's families, the whole situation got dark. Cardi hit back first, accusing Nicki of visiting several fertility doctors because, according to her, Nicki couldn't have children due to drug use. It was a harsh and personal blow. Nicki immediately fired back, denying she had ever gone to a fertility doctor and calling Cardi out for spreading lies. She wrote a long, dramatic message on social media, claiming that Cardi's words would come back to haunt her. Nicki went on a long rant filled with sharp insults, legal threats, and even spiritual references, saying that Cardi had sold her soul and would pay for it. She didn't stop there. Nicki mocked Cardi for supposedly having unplanned pregnancies, saying that unlike her, she had planned her pregnancies and that Cardi's medical records looked embarrassing. She threw more insults about Cardi's relationships, her family, and even hinted at her father, which made things even uglier. In another tweet, Nicki crossed another line by bringing up Cardi's past comments, reminding her that she had once called black women monkeys and roaches. Nicki warned her that one day, those same words might be used against her own daughters. She then drew a harsh comparison between herself and Cardi, saying that she always used protection and waited until the right time to have a child, something she implied Cardi didn't do. But then, Nicki tried to change her tone. In a later post, she said that infertility should never be used as an insult, even though she herself had never gone through it. She said that women who face those struggles live with deep pain and blame, and that no one should ever mock them. She insisted that fertility issues should never be turned into jokes or petty insults. Just when it seemed like things might calm down, Cardi hit back again, and this time, she dragged Nicki's son into it. Cardi responded with, "Girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter writing essays about me? Take your kid to Chuck E. Cheese." It was a cruel dig that made the entire feud feel even more uncomfortable to watch. Cardi also addressed Nicki's claim that she had suffered seizures after their infamous fight at the Harper's Bazaar Icons party back in 2018 during New York Fashion Week. Nicki had claimed that the knot she got on her head after the fight had caused her to experience seizures. Cardi laughed off that claim and made it clear she didn't believe a word of it. By this point, what started as a music rivalry had turned into a full-blown personal war, one that involved family, children, medical issues, and years of resentment. What made fans even more shocked was the lack of boundaries. There was no filter, no sense of too far. Both artists seemed determined to hit where it would hurt the most. Watching two successful women, both mothers, both respected in the industry, tear each other down like this feels exhausting. Fans who once supported both sides now feel caught in the middle of something that's gone beyond entertainment. What could have been a simple argument over music has turned into something deeply personal, of anger, pride, and hurt. At the end of the day, the internet thrives on chaos. Every insult becomes a headline, every tweet gets dissected, and fans on both sides fuel the fire. But this situation has gone far beyond music. When people start using someone's child or medical history as ammunition, that's not rap beef anymore. That's cruelty disguised as entertainment. And the sad part is, both Cardi and Nicki are incredibly talented women who have worked hard to reach where they are. They've broken barriers in a male-dominated industry, inspired millions, and proved their power time and again. Yet moments like these make people forget all that and focus only on the drama. It's hard to watch because you can tell it's not just for show anymore. The words are filled with genuine anger and hurt. This whole thing has made a lot of fans question where the line should be drawn. Disagreeing, competing, and even taking shots in songs has always been part of rap culture. But when it gets to the point where kids are being mentioned and families are being mocked, maybe it's time to step back and ask what it's all really worth. Because no chart position or album sale is worth dragging children and personal pain into the spotlight. The situation continues to unfold, and everyone's waiting to see if either side will take responsibility or if it'll just keep getting worse. One thing's for sure, this isn't the kind of entertainment anyone asked for. It's just sad watching two women who should be celebrating their success end up tearing each other down for the world to see. According to Cardi, Nicki was the one who once overdosed, and she warned her not to bring up her kids again unless she wanted the truth about her own son exposed. Cardi wasn't holding back. She said, "Hold on, I'm not done with your family." Then she went on to claim that her own father had never been to jail and told Nicki to hire a detective if she didn't believe her. Cardi accused Nicki of dragging her family into something that had nothing to do with them and warned her not to project the dirty parts of her own family history onto hers. That's when Cardi's anger really exploded. She accused Nicki's father of being addicted to drugs and brought up serious allegations about Nicki's brother's past. Cardi demanded that Nicki post her medical records if she had any proof of her claims, ending her rant by saying, "Post them and leave me the hell alone." Nicki didn't take that quietly. She came right back online and posted another message, this time sounding more spiritual than before. She said, "I know some of y'all don't like taking my advice until it's too late, but I'm telling you now, don't listen to that music. It's filled with evil spirits meant to bring chaos into your life. Delete it, child. We rebuke that energy and send it back to the pits of hell." That's when things took an even uglier turn. Nicki mentioned Cardi's daughter Culture in one of her tweets, writing, "Barney B and Culture Vulture. Culture Vulture, you ugly too." She didn't stop there. She posted more, saying, "Culture's a vulture and her mama's a crow. Too stupid to realize she's being played." The words were cruel and unnecessary, and they hit below the belt. Naturally, Cardi defended her daughter. Furious, she fired back, saying that Culture was beautiful and that Nicki's hatred came from jealousy. She accused Nicki of taking her bitterness out on other people's kids because of her own unhappiness. Then she crossed a major line, mocking Nicki's son by claiming he was nonverbal because of her alleged drug use. Cardi said, "Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak and you're banging spoons because your mom couldn't put the stuff down. I'm sorry your mom's not paying attention to you on your own birthday because she's too busy being hateful online." In a series of more posts, Cardi didn't hold back. She accused Nicki of carrying deep emotional pain and claimed that's why she constantly woke up angry, spreading negativity. She reminded Nicki how she had allegedly wished harm on her during her pregnancy, and then said karma was now catching up to her. Cardi even mocked Nicki's parenting, claiming her son was 5 years old, tiptoeing around the house, and couldn't even spell his own name. The entire exchange was so raw and vicious that reading some of the tweets felt uncomfortable. It wasn't just two rappers arguing anymore. It was two mothers tearing into each other's families, hitting below every possible belt. The comments were harsh enough to make people wonder if either of them realized how damaging this could be, not just to their careers, but to their kids' lives. Honestly, it's hard to believe celebrities even have this kind of time. You'd think they'd be busy performing, recording, or relaxing somewhere far from social media drama, but instead, they were online trading insults like everyday people in a comment section. And while it might seem like just another Twitter fight, the reality is far more serious. These tweets, even if deleted later, live forever. Screenshots, reposts, and fan accounts ensure that nothing really disappears. And that's where things get really disturbing. Cardi's daughter, Culture, is 8 now. She's old enough to be in school, to have friends and classmates who use the internet. Kids talk. Some of them have phones. Others have siblings who repeat what they see online. So imagine how heartbreaking it would be if one of her classmates repeated Nicki's words and called her ugly. That's not just a celebrity feud anymore. That's a child being bullied because of something her mother said, or something said about her. The same goes for Nicki's son, Papa Bear. He's only 5. Still just a little kid who probably doesn't even understand what's happening. But kids can be cruel. If they hear the things Cardi said about him, mocking his ability to speak or making fun of his development, those words can stick. And once kids start repeating those things, it becomes real pain. These children didn't ask to be part of any of this, yet they're being dragged into something they'll have to carry long after the tweets are forgotten. It's sad, really. These two women are incredibly talented, both at the top of their game, both mothers, both influential in the industry. Yet here they are, using the most vulnerable parts of their lives as weapons against each other. It's not clever, it's not empowering, it's just cruel. The internet might laugh and turn it into memes, but at the end of the day, there are real kids, real families, and real feelings involved. What's even worse is how normalized it's become. People scroll through these fights like it's entertainment, forgetting that behind those screens are actual people who'll have to deal with the consequences later. One day, those children might grow up and read every single word that was said about them. How do you even explain that to them? That adults, their own parents, said those things online for millions to see? All this over music sales, pride, and bruised egos. It's ridiculous when you think about it. There used to be a time when rap battles were about skill, clever wordplay, lyrical power, and creativity. Now, it feels like it's all about who can hit the lowest blow. When the beef turns from beats to babies, you know something's gone seriously wrong. It's not about defending one side or the other because honestly, both of them took it way too far. Everyone watching can see that this stopped being about music a long time ago. It's turned into something toxic and personal. And at some point, someone has to decide to stop, because the more they go at each other, the uglier it gets. And the ones who'll suffer most aren't the rappers. It's the kids caught in the middle of it all. This whole mess should be a reminder that words online don't just vanish. They stick around, and they can wound deeper than anyone expects. Both Cardi and Nicki have huge platforms and millions of fans who look up to them. Imagine the message it sends when the most successful women in rap are fighting like this in public. It's disappointing, and it's starting to feel dangerous. So now, the real question is, when do they stop? When do the adults in the room realize that the battle has gone far enough? The internet may love the drama, but there's a limit. Some things should never be part of a feud, and children are definitely one of them.